Shouldn't conflict. All right, so let's start class today in a seated position. You can sit cross-legged. I'm going to sit cross-legged. If you want to sit on something, you can. And let's wiggle back and forth. Just connect the sit bones. Lift your low back and close your eyes. Creating a bit of inside to observe. Observing the thoughts. Observing the quality of mind. A little deeper. Really connecting with the breath. Extend the inhale as much as you can. As you exhale, exhaling all the breath, and we're breathing into the lungs, in and out through the nose. Keep tracking the breath, allowing the sounds to be around you, your neighbors, the construction, the dogs, the wind, the birds. Close, we'll bring our hands to a prayer position and we'll do 3 specific breaths to the lungs. Coming to the bottom of your exhale. Inhale, fill the heart with your breath. And exhale. Two more like this. In deeply. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, opening the eyes, placing the hands by the side, and exhale, pause. Inhale, lifting the left arm, and then we'll lean over to the right. The right hand can stay there or extend the right arm out. Let's bring the gaze up to the sky. If that's too much in the neck, look down. 3 more breaths here. I guess if this is too much for the shoulder, you could place the hand on the shoulder as well. And inhale, coming back to center, hands come down to the ground. Exhale, pause. Inhale, right arm reaches up, and then we're reaching over to the next side. Left hand can stay on the mat or extend the left arm out. Keep breathing. Let's bring the gaze upwards. Inhale, coming back to center. Let's try to get one leg in front of the other and then walking the hands forward, release the head. Maybe the head will touch the ground, maybe it doesn't. Keeping the bum on the ground, still deep breaths. And then inhale, bringing yourself back up. We'll change sides by bringing the back leg to the front. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, walking the hands forward. If it's hard to come forward, you could also keep the hands behind you. Give yourself that lower bend. Release the head. You can do a little shake of the head, a gentle no, just to make sure the skull is released. And bringing yourself back up. Let's try cat-cow, but in this position. So hands on the knees. Inhale, arch your low back, lifting the chest. And then exhale around the spine, drop the head. Side profile up. Again, inhale, lifting the chest, arch the low back. Exhale. You might find there's not as much mobility as in tabletop or cat-cow, but work with what you've got. You might also notice or feel the pelvis tipping forward and back. We're moving with the breath. Now you're dropping the head, and you're lifting the chest. Two more of those. So horns, alarms, sirens are always good reminders to come to the breath. Come to stillness. And now let's do circles. So really exploring the edge of this rotation. I heard one teacher describe it as using a knife inside of a peanut butter jar. So really kind of scrape the inside edge of that jar. Bueno, changing directions. Two more. Nice. Form the shoulders a little bit more. If you need to change up the legs or straighten the legs, you can. Leave the fingers, exhale, push up through the palms. Inhale, arms float up. Now straighten the arms as much as you can, but melt the shoulders down. Again, if this is too much for your body at any point, feel free to make modifications. So a nice simple modification is hand on shoulders here. I also find with arms extended, you can feel the lung breath a little bit more. So really move the lungs with the breath, try to keep the belly still. With our exhale, we'll bring the hands down by the side, hands roughly the same height as the shoulders, and then pull the hands behind the shoulders. So we're opening the chest, flex the hands, so you're pulling the fingertips back towards you. Nice. We're going to come into a rotation in this position. Make sure it's not just the arms moving, but the chest. With an exhale, I'm going to bring the right hand forward, left hand back. Breathe in this rotation. Now just turn your fingers up to the sky. Yeah. And then inhale back to center. Still that flexing of the palms. Push out through the heel of the palms, the heel of the hands. And then exhale. Let's bring the left hand forward, right hand back. Breathe. Someone on Zoom has a siren. Again, good reminder for breath. And inhale to center. Let's give the shoulders a little bit more attention. So hands to shoulders now. And then drawing circles with the elbows. And as you're doing this, notice this. Does it feel even? Is one side more mobile? Is your dominant side, which is my right side, feeling stronger? My left side seems to have some plicky bits in the joint. And then we'll change directions. All right. We're going to come to tabletop now. Now, before we do cat-cow, let's just focus on the shoulders. So as I push with the hands, I'm building the space between the shoulder blades, and then inhale, dropping the chest down, bringing the shoulder blades together. So then exhale and pushing, rolling the shoulders, and arching or putting the heart towards the ground. Let's do 3 more like that with the breath. Exhale, you're pushing with the hands. And inhale, arch the upper back. Try to make this about the upper back, not so much lower back. The rest of the spine definitely responds, but well, as soon as I start this class, all my neighbors start to hammer and make those noises. Okay. From the stillness, floating table, place the forearms to the ground. Keep the hands separated. Spread the fingers. Tuck your toes. And inhale, lifting the knees. 5 smooth breaths here. Contract the Mula Bandha, which is the muscle used to stop urination. Uddiyana Bandha, draw the navel to spine. 3 more breaths. If you need to take breaks, you can drop the knees. And exhale, drop your knees down onto the ground. Let's come back to tabletop position. We'll work our core with bird cat. So inhale, extend right leg, left arm. Bring the belly up. And exhale, bring it back down. Changing sides, left leg, right arm. So we're going to change sides each time. And exhale down. Keep moving with the breath. Let's do about 5 more each side. And if that, again, is too much for your body, leave it out. Another variation to do here is just the leg, just the arms. One more set. One more set. Inhale, dropping the forearms to the ground. Let's do another float. Tuck your toes. Inhale, lift the knees just slightly off the mat. And we're holding it here. 5 smooth breaths. And exhale, drop the knees down. Inhale back to tabletop position. We're coming to our first down dog. And let's keep those knees bent. Take a good inhale. And exhale, lift the hips. Again, knees bent, but reach your bum to the sky. Two more breaths. Now look forward. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale the flat back, hands on your shins. Straighten the spine, looking to the toes. And exhale, folding forward. Let's do that again. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look to the toes. And sit bones back, shoulders back. And exhale, folding forward. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms and chest come up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Really focusing on breath. Inhale, arms float up. Lift the heart slightly. Then exhale, fold and forward. Inhale the flat back, hands on your shins. And exhale, palms flat, stepping back to high plank. And let's hold this. See if we can hold this for 5 breaths. If this is too much on your wrist, you could do this on your forearms or drop the knees. Take 3 more breaths. And you feel towards your heel. For our first chaturanga, let's all drop our knees. Inhale, drop your knees to the ground. Exhale, lowering yourself down slowly. And let's do 5 cobras. So not pushing with the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, lower yourself down. Again, inhale, lifting the chest, try to pull the belly up. Without using the hands. And exhale. 4 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, notice what's going on with the belly. Try to pull it up. Pull the belly off the mat without lifting the hips. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. And then sequence through the knees. Tuck your toes. Lift the hips. Coming down. We're still keeping a bend in the knees until we really warm up the hips. 2 more breaths. Inhale, bend the knees, looking forward, or bend the knees more. And then exhale, walk your feet. Inhale, lengthening your spine. And exhale, you're folding forward. Bend the knees, inhale, arms and chest come up. Exhale, heart center. We're going to do 2 more sun salutations, flowing a little bit more this time. Inhale, arms float up. You're welcome to find a little back bend, lift the heart, not so much the chin. And exhale, bend the knees, folding forward. Inhale the flat back, look to the toes, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, bend the knees, palms flat, stepping back to high plank. Big inhale, high plank. Option to drop the knees or not. If you're getting the shoulder issues, maybe drop the knees. Exhale, you're lowering down. Let's come back to cobra. Inhale, lifting the chest without pressing in the hands. And then exhale, tuck the toes with the hips. Still, we'll keep the knees a little bit. Reach the sit bones to the sky. And inhale, bend your knees looking forward. Exhale, walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking to the toes. And exhale, folding forward. We're bending the knees to the transition. Inhale, arms and chest come up. You can bring the hands slightly behind the shoulders. And exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, arms float up. Exhale, hold. Inhale the flat back. Some of us might be able to keep the fingers on the ground, really looking for that straight spine. And then exhale, bending knees, palms flat, stepping back, high plank. Alternating which foot steps back, so it's not always the same foot. I usually step back with the right foot, for example. Inhale, high plank, option to drop knees. Exhale, you're lowering down, maybe halfway or quarter way down. And inhale, up, down, and cobra this time. So if you're ready for it, arms straight. The arms are straight, knees and hips lifted, shoulders back. And then exhale to down. At this point, if you're starting to feel warmth in the legs, you can straighten the legs, start to melt the heels down. Two more breaths. Inhale, bend your knees forward. You can step or try a little float to the hands. Inhale to long spine, straight legs. And exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, inhale, arms and chest come up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Step your feet hip width apart with an inhale, arms float up. We'll catch the left wrist with right hand and exhale, leaning to your right. You can pull the top arm straight. And inhale back to center, changing hands on wrists. Catch the right wrist and exhale, leaning to the right. Left, sorry, leaning to the left. Changing sides. And inhale back to center. Let's do that one more time. So I'm grabbing my left wrist, leaning to the right. And if you want to try an additional little challenge, try picking up the left foot just slightly off the mat without bending the left leg. I'm going to find a little wibbly wobbly going on there. And inhale, coming back up, both feet to the mat, changing hands on wrists. So I'm grabbing my right wrist, exhale, leaning to the left. And if you want, you can lift up the right foot slightly, just hover. Try not to bend the knee. My neighbor has chosen to move furniture in my house. Synchronicity, perhaps? And inhale, coming back up. Let's explore a back bend. So weaving the fingers except for the index. Before you lift the chin, try not to lift the chin or the gaze. Bring the hands back behind you. Pull the belly in, wave into the heels, and lift the heart up and back. And again, it's very much a tendency to want to lift the chin up, but keep it tucked in. Keep the gaze forward. This back bend doesn't have to be deep to be felt. Just two more breaths. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. Exhale, release the hands down. Let's do one more back bend. If this is hard on your low back, you can choose to keep the hands on the low back for this next one. I'll demonstrate that. Otherwise, arms back up to the sky. Inhale, lifting the arms up, replacing through your low back, and start to lift it up and back. Again, notice your tendency to want to lift the chin. Keep the chin tucked in. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. Exhale, release the hands. Coming back to the front of your mat if you're not there. Let's try some Santayatation variation. Surya Namaskar. Big inhale. Exhale, sit yourself down. The arms down. Inhale, arms float up. And let's warm the shoulders by moving the arms. So exhale, hands come behind the back. Keep squeezing the knees. Inhale, arms float up. 4 more like this. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So you may notice your breath is faster or longer than mine. Keep it true to yourself. So if I'm moving too fast for you, you can slow it down. If my breath is much longer than yours, then you may want to try to extend your breath. We'll do one more. Exhale. And pressing the palms without weaving the fingers, sit a little lower, look up to the thumb. 2 more breaths. And exhale, folding forward, drop your head down towards the ground. Inhale the flat back, lengthen your spine. And exhale, palms flat, stepping back to high plank. Let's hold plank again, 5 breaths. I'll show the forearm variation in this one. This isn't, find this too much for the wrist. You can also drop the knees. Even if the knees are down, send your tail towards your heel. 2 more breaths. Option to drop the knees, exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, up dog and cobra. Almost like you're pulling yourself forward with the hands, shoulders back. And exhale to down dog, hips to the side. Inhale, your right leg lifts into the sky. And then exhale, step your right foot forward. We're coming into a lunge. Just the fingertips on the mat. Start to lift your belly and your chest off your thigh. Viewers, we have 10 more minutes and then I'll start the second lift. Pull the belly up a little bit more and then we'll bring the hands beside you. If that's too much on your low back, hands can stay on the ground. If you're feeling really strong this morning, you can extend the arms forward. 2 more breaths here. And exhale, hands down to the ground. Inhale to high plank. Let's hold plank again, 5 breaths. Option to drop the knees or come down to the forearms. With your next exhale, lowering yourself down. With some resistance, come up to this drop. Inhale, up dog, cobra. And exhale to down dog, hips to the sky. Inhale, your left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps forward, back heel stays lifted. And then start to come to just fingertips. Hold the belly up and then we're lifting the chest. Hands beside us, palms facing down. Reach out to the top of the head. You can keep the hands here as I'm doing, or extend the arms forward. 4 more breaths. And exhale, both hands come down to the ground, front foot steps back. Inhale, high plank. Option to go down, chaturanga, or go straight to down dog from here. So if you're doing the chaturanga, with the option to drop knees and going down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And then exhale to down dog. So you could have gone straight to this posture. If you find those chaturangas too much for the shoulders and your low back. You're breathing here. Bending the knees, looking forward. And exhale, step or jump your feet to here. Inhale the flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, you're folding forward. Bend your knees, sit yourself down. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale, we're coming to center. Inhale. Exhale, sit yourself down. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale the flat back. Exhale, palms flat. Try to alternate which foot steps back. Nice plank. Again, if you've had enough chaturangas, go straight to down dog. Otherwise, exhale, lowering yourself down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. This is cobra. And then exhale to down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Back heel stays lifted. Inhale, hands to your hips, lifting the chest. Bend your back knee, tuck the pelvis forward. Keeping that pelvic tilt, try to push out through the heels. Now we're going to bind the hands behind your low back. If you can't catch the hands, you could also catch the forearms without dumping in the low back or popping out the low ribs. So we're really trying to shorten this distance from the low ribs to the hips. Lifting the arms. And you may also have a tendency to lock or hyperextend the arms. Put a little bend in the elbows. Keep lifting the chest. 4 more breaths here. Inhale, we'll bring the arms to the side, cactus arms. And then we're going to bring the right arm underneath left and twist tie the arm, catching the hand, eagle arms. If that's not possible, then you can also catch the shoulders. Try to lift the elbows as high as you can. More breaths here. And exhale, hands down to the ground, front foot steps back. Again, you can go straight to chaturanga. If you feel to work harder, float the right leg as you lower yourself down. Inhale, up dog and cobra. And exhale to down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, your left foot steps forward. Back heel stays lifted. Inhale, let's bring our hands to our hips, lifting the chest. Exhale, bend the back knee, tucking the pelvis forward. Keeping that pelvic tilt, push out through the heel. Inhale, arms float out to the side. And then exhale, weave the fingers together behind your back. Try to alternate which finger is on top. Lift the hands. Bend those elbows just a little bit. Keep lifting the heart, pull the low ribs in. You might notice my back leg is bent a little bit. That's fine. You're able to straighten it without dumping in the low back. You can do so. Three more breaths here. Inhale, your arms float up to cactus arms. And then we'll bring that left elbow underneath right. Twist tie the arms. Again, if you can't catch the hands, you can catch the shoulders. Lift the elbows. And exhale, both hands come down to the ground, front, foot steps back, option to float the left leg. We're all going to come down to the ground this time. Exhale, lower down. Weaving the fingers together behind your back, arms together. Inhale, lifting chest and legs. Now our glutes engage in this, but try to soften the glutes. Turn the heels out. Again, a tendency to lock the arms here. Little bend of the elbows. 3 more breaths. And exhale, lower down. Turn your head to one side. Zoomers, we're going to get cut off soon, and I'll just start the next meeting as soon as that happens. Okay? Second set. Here we go. Weave the fingers. Inhale, lifting chest and legs. Gaze downwards. Lift a little higher. Keep breathing. And exhale, lower down. Turn your head in the next direction. We're going to do a third set. And for the third set, if you want to come into wheel, that's bending your knees and reaching around and catching the ankles. Just going to restart. Zoomers. So third and final set. Bending the knees. And again, if you can't catch the feet, then binding the hands. Pull the belly up. Inhale, we're lifting. Doesn't have to be high. Again, the first variation is this one. More breaths here. And exhale, lower yourself down. Let's make our way into child's pose. Usually I instruct child's pose knees wide, toes together. Let's try knees together and sit on your heels. If that really doesn't work for you, then knees apart, but try knees together. We'll make our way back to down dog. Then walk the hands forward, touch your toes. Make sure your video is working. And lift your hips. Inhale, lift your right leg, bend the knee, and send the foot behind you. Now watch if there's a tree behind you, so you don't hit the tree. You can look underneath your left armpit to see the right foot. We're going to go straight into pigeon pose from here. So we're swinging the right knee forward and down to the mat. Behind the right hand. You can send the right foot forward a little bit and push with the heel, pull the toes back. If this is hard for you, if your hips are high in the sky and you have a block, you can place a block underneath the hips. Let's try to slide the left leg back in space so the hips get a little closer. And we'll start on fingertips today. So lifting the chest, straight arms. That's it, shoulders back. More breaths here. So we're going to try something. It might not be accessible, but let's try. I'll just give you a few variations. So exhale, forearms, just the forearms to the ground. And then inhale, bend that back knee. Now maybe that's as much as you can do, or with an exhale, you might be able to reach around with the right hand to catch the foot. And if you can catch the foot, try to draw the foot towards your bum. No belly in. If you need to straighten that front arm, that's all okay as well. More breaths. It's also a good place to use a strap if you have a strap. Anyone getting a cramp? Oh, good. And we'll release that back foot. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale back to straight arms, and we'll make our way back to down dog. And repeating that sequence. Inhale, lift your left leg, bend the knee, send the foot behind you. Look underneath the right armpit to see the foot. Sit, ladies, even in the hands, spread the fingers, palms flat. You should try to drop your right heel down. That's the foot on the mat. And then we're stepping the left knee forward to the mat. And swing that foot further forward to deepen the stretch. Push the heel, pull the toes back. Look over our right shoulder and slide that right leg back in space. And if you want to place the prop underneath the left hip, you can. And we started with straight arms and fingertips, shoulders back. More breaths. And with our exhale, we'll bring the forearms to the ground. Bending the back knee. You can stay there with just the bent knee, or reach around with the right hand to catch the foot. And then draw that foot towards your buttocks. YouTube people, I feel like I'm neglecting you and focusing on the Zoomers, but I'll try to focus on the YouTubers as well. Come on, breaths. And exhale, release. Let's tuck the back toe. Inhale, lifting the back knee, and then we'll make our way back to down dog, lifting ears. Inhale, looking forward, bend the knees. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Flat back, length of the spine. And exhale, fold forward. Sit yourself down. Arms float up to the Tatsuna chair pose. And exhale, come into stand. Extended side angle. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step the right foot back. Bending the left knee. Inhale, arms float up, starting with warrior two. And then exhale, left forearm to the thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. This might be too much for the shoulder. If it is, right hand to the shoulder. If you can go deeper, bring the left hand down to the ground. This is a good posture for strengthening sacral stability. So focusing on that. What does it feel like to not support yourself here with your arms? You don't have to lift the arms off the mat, but what would you do to engage to support that? So strong legs, pull the belly in. 3 more breaths. You can look up to the sky if you can. And you're firm in your belly. Inhale, bring yourself back up. We'll keep the feet where they are. Rotate on the heels to face the feet the next way. Bend into your right knee. Inhale, warrior two. And then exhale, right forearm on your thigh. Inhale, left arm reaches up. And then over. The right forearm can stay here. Or place the right hand down to the ground. Again, this may be problematic to the shoulder if it is place the hand to the shoulder, even to the hip. Let's bring our gaze to the sky. 4 more breaths. And exhale, looking down. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Turn your feet to the front. And exhale, step your feet together. Let's come to the next side. Inhale, lift your left leg. Step the left foot back. Trikonasana, triangle pose. So in this one, the legs are heels in one line and feet are about as long as the length of a leg. So not as long as warrior 2. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, we'll bring the right hand to the inside of the ankle, just floating the hand there. Left hand can stay here again, or if you're dealing with shoulder issues, this is a bit of a shoulder class. Left hand to hip. Or if you want to give that shoulder or chest a little opening, take that left hand to the low back. And maybe sliding it around so that the hand peeks out inside of the right thigh. Bind, keep rolling the top shoulder back. And exhale, looking down to the ground. Release the bind if you're in the bind. Inhale, bring yourself back up. We'll keep the feet where they are and just pivot on the heels to face the next direction, both legs straight. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, bring the left hand to the inside of the ankle, right arm reaches up. And the right hand can stay here, or hand to hip, or right hand to your low back, or sneaking that hand around and catching the inside of the left thigh. Keep rolling your top shoulder back. You can bring the gaze up. And if that's not right for the neck, you can also look downwards. 5 more breaths here. Firming the belly. Inhale, bring yourself back up. We're coming into goddess pose, so we're turning the heels inwards, toes outwards, bending the knees. In karate, I believe this is called horse stance. Send the knees back, tail down. Hands can stay on the hip, or bring the arms to cactus arm. 5 more breaths here. And exhale, coming to stand. Step the feet to the front of the mat with an exhale. And let's come into a squat. So feet a little wider than the hips. Bend the knees, hands to the ground, and sit low. A little bit something different than we usually do here. Hands to prayer, elbows to the inside of the knees. Yeah, hopefully they can make it there. And then I want you to squeeze the knees inwards as the elbows resist outwards. Not all your strength, but just give an engagement there. This helps create a bit of space in the sacral area. 2 more breaths in this isometric strength. Strengthening. And release. Do that 2 more times. Again, so we're resisting. Send the elbows out. Push, squeeze the knees in. And release. We'll do 1 more like that. Again, engage. And release. We're going to make our way to tabletop position. And we're going to come into a variation of cow face legs, but not into the full variation. So I want you to So how do we do this? Extend your right leg straight. And then bring that right leg across the left. We'll swing the left foot out a little bit over to the right. And then bend the right knee and place that knee right behind one another. You can do the back profile for those on you. So you can wiggle the feet out a little wider and then start to sit your bum back. Usually we sit all the way back, but you don't need to. Push with the hands to the point where you start to feel the stretch. I'm getting a nice stretch in my IT band, the outer thigh. Feeling it? Looks like you are, Trisha. Oh, yeah. Breathe. More breath. And inhale, bringing yourself forward. Uncross the legs. Coming back to tabletop position. And we'll do that same thing on the next side. So extending the left leg straight. And then bringing the left foot over to the right. With the right foot over towards the right edge, the left edge of the mat. And then bringing that left knee right behind the right. Using the hands, start to sink the hips back. Ooh, this is my tight side. I'm feeling that today. That may be because I fell in the garden yesterday. 4 more breaths. And inhale, coming forward. Let's come back to tabletop position. You can sit on your heels. And then extend the legs forward. We're going to make our way to our back. Laying all the way back. Hug your right knee into your chest. Left leg long. And then with an exhale, we're twisting, sending the knee across the butt. With your inhale, bring your low back to the mat, hugging both knees into your chest, rocking from side to side. And then we're changing sides. Hug your left knee, extend the right leg long. And with an exhale, twisting to the next side. Don't push this, especially if you're dealing with low back issues. And inhale, coming back to center. We'll come into happy baby. Bring the arms to the inside of the knees. Catch the feet on the outside. Press your low back down. Tuck in the chin. 5 breaths here. Exhale, we're releasing, coming to our final pose, which is legs long, hands by your side, or resting hands on your belly. If you want to put your legs on a chair or up on a wall, you're welcome to do that as well. Once you find your position, soften the body, soften the eyes, the jaw, the lips. Let the body take care of the breath. Soft. Feel the earth supporting you so that the body can let go. If the body lets go, perhaps the mind will follow. Just stay here for 4 minutes. Allow the sounds to be around you if there's sounds around you. Gone off on fantasy and future or past, come back to the present. Stay with the breath even though it's soft. Let's start to deepen our breath. You can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Keep deepening the breath. And with your next exhale, roll to your right side. Use the hands and bring yourself up to a seated position. We'll close our practice with 3 breaths to the heart. Bring your hands to prayer. Coming to the bottom of your exhale. Together we inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last one. Inhale, fill the heart. And exhale. Thank you for joining me in Yoga in the Garden.